Right, make sure you set your endpoint correctly. This is all filmed on the Pocket 3 using one of 3 arms, and they do a really nice job in and out of the car. Let's talk about them a little bit. Right, so I have this attached to my sunroof, and one thing that you should be aware of, if you have the Tilta, say we press it twice and the battery actually goes out, the battery dies, yeah? The battery is dead. It's not going to come off. So if your battery dies, you don't have to worry that it's going to come off, but for safety reasons, I would charge it up and get it back up there. So step 1 of putting any of these on your car is to get your car cleaned. That is the most important part, or else it's all going to fall off. Now that the car is more or less clean, we can stick suction cups on it. It's not super clean, but it's definitely better than it was. So let's get these out. Today we're talking about miniature car arms for the DJI Pocket 3, but you can use it as well with action cameras like the DJI Action 5, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, the GoPro Hero 13. Anything that you can stick on here and it will be able to handle the weight on such a small arm. MovMax and Tilta and Came TV did send these out to me. Tilta and MovMax do make very large professional arms that you can stick on very big cinema cameras. But these are made for tiny little Pocket 3s. The Pocket 3 basically, with the MovMax arm here that you can see, because this was the original, changed filming rollers for, for the community. As it's such a small, fairly cheap setup, you can stick this on your car, stick on tracking on your DJI Pocket 3, and you can film rollers in vertical or in horizontal, and they look really, really nice. Now, MovMax has been adding a lot of accessories to this arm. At the moment, we do have the isolator to level out the playing field, because we also have an isolator on the Tilta and we have an isolator on the Came TV. The Came TV looks like a tiny, large isolator. The Tilta, I think, looks probably the most, professional out of all of them. And the MovMax basically just has a couple of rubber dampeners. So we're going to test these out on a dirt road and filming myself, see which one's the smoothest, and then we're going to go onto a nice asphalt road and we're going to track some random cars. As I'm a YouTuber, I have no friends, I'm basically here by myself, so when we find a random car, we're going to press track and we're going to go after it. We do have a few potholes here and there, but we are in Łódź, Poland. Mind you, they do have potholes in Beverly Hills. Anyway, all of these have suction cups at the bottom, which you attach to your car. So that is why I wash the car. You need a clean surface and preferably some kind of straps to hold this down just in case it does fall off. If you're on a highway or somewhere, you don't want this falling off and causing an accident, or you're going to be in a world of trouble. So that is why tethers really do come in handy. The Tilta is the only one of these that has an electronic suction cup, which is pretty useful, because if it feels it's losing suction, it will start pumping up by itself. It's charged via USB-C and it works really, really nicely. The other two have your classic kind of suction. There is a white and a red line on both of these. You're gonna have to pump it until you no longer see it. Then you know it's nice and safe and it's not coming off. They also have adjustments for dampening so that your arm is in the correct position, which should more or less be kind of 90 degrees for everything to work nice and smoothly. And they do come with little weights. Mind you, if you're using it with the dampener, you can't use the weight on the MovMax. I'm sure there's some way of attaching it somewhere, but that's just something for you to watch out for. Like I said, MovMax has been adding a lot of accessories that Tilta and Came TV also have. So like a bike bar mount. If you're on a bike or a motorbike, you can mount it with just basically taking off the suction caps and adding a bike bar mount. It has an extension rod with the MovMax. And they also have, what do they have? Oh, they have actual handles. So each one of these has a handle. I think Tilta was the first one to come out with it. So you can basically take off the suction cup, mount it on a handle in a split second, and you can carry it around like a mechanical gimbal. Anyway, we're going to get these on the Skoda Kodiaq right here. You don't have these in America, but they're pretty damn cool cars. And we're going to see which one is the smoothest. Right, so these are just little close-ups of what you can see later on in the video. They're all full frame later. Here I just wanted to put them next to each other, and so you can have a look at what they look like next to each other, because later on they're all separate. Tilta, KMTV, and MovMax. I would say straight away, just in case you don't want to watch the rest of the video and see them in more detail, that the Tilta with its vibration isolator does the best job. The KMTV seems to go left and right a little bit, and the MovMax seems to feel the bumps the most with its isolator. So it's up to you to have a look at the full screen versions and see which one is for you. We're gonna go over some speed bumps on some asphalt in this next comparison right here, so you can have a look at what it looks like. Unfortunately, there was a car right in front of me slowing down with the Tilta, but you can see that the Tilta handles the speed bumps extremely well, and they all seem to do a fairly good job. They really do. But I would say that Tilta does the best job out of all of them. I find that the KMTV wobbles left and right a little bit too much, and the MovMax is a touch too stiff. Let's have a look at the full screen examples. Right, so mounting the Tilta is pretty basic. We have it, say, somewhere around here. We press the red button there. It is going to turn on. I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and it should start instantly sucking down. And there you go. This guy is literally sucked down. So what we're going to do is we are going to insert this right about here. I put it down to the button just so it has the lowest center of gravity for the actual camera. Make sure it's nice and tight, and I would drop the dampening down a little bit. Let's have a look. Maybe a little bit more dampening. Okay, we turn it on, boom, and what we're going to do is we're going to have to press the joystick 3 times, so we are now looking at the car, and that is basically how it's done. It's nice and secure here. If it does feel loss of any kind of pressure, it is going to pump, so it just sticks on there. We're going to do this without tethers, just because I see a lot of you doing without tethers. I'm going to go down the dirt road and we're going to see how this works. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect the DJI Mic Mini to the Pocket 3 so you can hear me inside the car. I can see it's doing quite a bit of wobble. This is not a nice road to drive down. I'm wondering how the Insta360 is doing there, but it is basically on a suction cup, so it is how it is. So we're going to drive down this road with all 3 of them at more or less the same speed. I can't go really very fast because there are fairly large holes here. I don't know if you guys can feel the holes. I can see the oh yeah, I can see the isolator looks like it's doing quite a fantastic job, and so is the arm. That's actually very impressive. I've really mainly used this going down nice straight asphalt roads. So going down here, let's call it semi-off-road, is something completely different. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to a certain point. Oh, this is a big one. And we're going to stop and turn around. So I'm going to use this red car here as a point where I turn around. We put on a different suction cup and we try again. We're going to try the MovMax next. In fact, what we're going to do is we are going to flip the gimbal around so you guys can see what this looks like going straight. And I'm not sure how well this is going to work, because if it gets a little bit too bumpy, then it might catch part of the actual Tilta arm in the frame, but we'll see. Hoping the Insta360 is catching all of this. Oh yeah, we're bumpy, we're bumpy, we're bumpy. Ho, 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 ho. Now, when I did watch videos of this, for example, I watched Cam's video when this first came out, and I was like, oh my gosh. He went off-road and he went crazy in his Bronco, and it was just jittery and bumpy. I think the main problem is that it didn't have the isolator, and it had a very high center of gravity. So it should really be mounted in a different way. If you're not using it without the isolator, it should be mounted as low as possible so that the camera isn't top heavy. Right, we're gonna turn around and try the MovMax now. Right, so the MovMax attaches in a completely different way. Make sure you always keep these around. We're gonna stick it on, yeah? Gonna put down some pressure, and we're gonna pump it. There you go. As long as that little red line has gone, you're pretty safe. Now, we are gonna get this in here, slide it down. And I would recommend getting it as low as possible, just next to the button, the joystick. And that way you've more or less got the lowest center of gravity as you possibly can. Hit your car. There we go. I would say that is a good point right there. Let's make sure it's on. Turn on the Insta360 and let's go. All right, it seems pretty stable. I feel that the isolator on the Tilta does a little bit of a better job straight off the bat. There is a car coming past, so we're just gonna slide in here. The Tilta isolator is serious. I mean, we know that. So it's I can see it's doing a good job, and like I said, this is the OG of mini arms for the Pocket 3. This is the one that started it all. And MovMax, you got to have a lot of respect for them, and then all the fantastic accessories they're bringing out. And we'll see the final result. Like I said, we're going about the same speed, we're going over the same bumps, and I'm sure putting them next to each other or just looking at them will give us an idea of oh, there's a big hole again. Of how well these are doing. Now we're going to get past this red car again, and we're going to spin around, and I'm once again going to turn the camera around so we can have a forward-facing view going across these bumps. All right, let's spin the camera around, get it centered, and let's go. Like I said, I mean, it's difficult to know which isolator does better, but it does seem that the Tilta has more when it comes to isolation, because it has the rods and it has the isolator as well, the dampeners on the side. Now, it's a very nice day. I've had really bad weather, so I felt really bad for a couple of these companies. Actually all three of them, because I've been waiting for the weather to get good. And the only company that actually does a waterproof case is the MovMax. So I'm surprised that Tilta hasn't gone that way and done a waterproof case for the Pocket 3. But yeah, so I don't have that. I didn't buy it. I feel it has quite a few restrictions, and I just wanted to wait for a sunny day. So we are here, and we're doing this today. I'm sure by now you can see if there is any difference between these two. And we're going to park up here again, and we are going to check the Came TV, which is the last one. We'll see. They're all priced fairly similarly. So when it comes to price, you don't really have to worry about price. But we'll see in a minute how these do. Right, last but not least, we do have the Came TV. Going to stick it in the same place. Once again, you have to give it some pressure. Pump the cup until you no longer see the line. And it should be on there really solidly. We can turn on this and we're ready to go. We are off. And see, it straightens itself out. Now, this is what I don't like about filming on the Pocket 3 on a car. It's the same kind of thing like you had in episode 4 of Adolescence, right? Where the Ronin 40 was strapped to the front of the van, yeah, and they were driving around, and it was swaying, and it was swaying like crazy. You know, that kind of just reminded me, as you know, as someone who uses a camera. I was going to say a filmmaker, but I'm a YouTuber. Let's call it what it is. The actual Ronin 40 was swaying when they were driving, and I could see it. You know, I could see it swaying when they turned left, swaying when they turned right. And I much prefer a hard mounted camera on shots like that, personally. I don't know if you guys get annoyed by anything like that, but I personally do prefer it. Now, this vibration isolator that Came TV has is pretty wild, because the others were standing straight. They were completely straight, whereas this one is swaying like absolutely crazy. Maybe the shots are better. I have no idea. I have not compared them yet. We're going to see later on. All right, we're going to do the same thing we did last time. This is the last time we're driving down this road. Let's flip the camera around. There we go. Straighten it out. And off we go. Let's have a look what kind of shots we get here on this bumpy road. There's a car in front of us. Yeah, I mean, this isolator, it's like, this is the kind of isolator you have on large arms, yeah, big cameras, cinema cameras. This is kind of the same thing you have, right? Similar kind of isolator. But I mean, looking at it now, looking at what's happening, this guy is swaying to the left, to the right, forward, backwards, quite a substantial amount. Is this car gonna let me through? Yeah, it is. Okay, well, that's nice of him. So at the moment, this thing, I don't know if you guys can see it on the Insta360, but it is wild. Everybody's looking at it, or everybody that passes me, they look at what the hell is on the front of the car, which is quite fun. Everything in the car is shaking, so I have no idea, looking at this, if it's going to be smooth or not. I guess this is all going to come out when I put them next to each other, and we can have a look at which one does best. Right, as we have this on now, we're basically just going to drive out there. We're going to grab a car, yeah, and we're going to tail it. Let's straighten the gimbal. There we go. And speed bump. I don't know how it works on the speed bumps. Here's another one. I see this Toyota really doesn't care about its suspension, so I guess we're just gonna go with it. Oh, that was a close one. Maybe he doesn't like me following him and he's trying to get away, but I'm in a Kodiak, right? I'm in a Kodiak. I can go with speed bumps. It's an SUV. So this is what it looks like when we're getting rollers in Poland, in a place called Nazdrowie. Or Zdrowia, actually. It's called Zdrowia, but we are in Nazdrowie. And off he goes. So we're going to turn around and we're going to try and capture a different one with a different arm. So we're going to put on the Tilta. I'll follow this BMW. Speed bump. Yeah, you see, the Tilta does such a good job over these speed bumps with the isolator. I don't feel the isolator is falling left and right like with the Came TV. Obviously we're going to stop at the end and we are going to do the MovMax last, right? But here's another speed bump. Oh, it's doing a good job. It really is. It's not bad at all. And now after the update with the Pocket 3, we can do 40 millimeters, which is actually looking pretty nice. But I'm just using the normal standard. So this is how we are rolling. And I think it looks pretty cool, you know, a roller on Zdrowie in Łódź, Poland. This guy in his BMW, he probably thinks he's in a film. Now from here I can see that we have 4 bars of energy on the Tilta, which is good. So you have an idea of how much you have battery life left, which is always important. And we're going to leave this guy here, say goodbye to him, and we are going to turn left. Thank you. This is actually where my uncle lives, on this street. So I've gone up and down this street a million times. He used to pull me in his Mercedes on a sleigh tied to the back of the Mercedes back in the 80s and 90s in the snow. Good times, good times. All right, we are searching for cars. Maybe we can put into sport and grab that one right in front of us. There we go. We are back. So now we have the MovMax, and we are following this Toyota again. Another one who doesn't care too much about the speed bumps, so he's going to make me go over them really fast. But I think he has a BMW in front of him, so he needs to go and brake every time the BMW does. So right, this is what it looks like with the MovMax. I can see the MovMax is working pretty well, but I've got to be honest, I think the best isolator out of all of them has got to be the Tilta. It just looks and feels really good. And it just looks like it works the best, you know. It feels like it's going to do the best job out of all of them. Now, I don't know how long this film is. I don't actually care too much. I'm here trying to show you how these work and if they stabilize well, if you can get good rollers with them. That's the most important thing. If the video is a little bit too long, then don't watch it. That's about it.